Hello and welcome. We are on week 3 of our Craft Room Refresh 2026 with Dana K. White. She is guiding us with her expertise in decluttering, and we're very excited. We're at week 3. Can you believe it? It's going fast. Hello, 2026.
I know.
Okay, and this week, I'm looking at my notes, sorry. This week, we are picking one stash category and we're going to contain it. So we have already cleared off our workspace and we've cleaned up our tools and done re-inking and consolidated the things that we use most and that kind of thing. And then this week, we're looking at our stash and picking one area and we're going to kind of contain it, whether it's your fabric, your paper, your ribbon, your lace, your inks, your whatever you have that you feel overwhelmed by. That's the one. Well, we're going to get into that, how to pick which one. It might be all overwhelming, and contain it. All right, so pick one stash category and contain it. That is week 3. So what do we need to do first, Dana?
Well, we were talking before we started this one about how to prioritize, where to start, what to do first, because especially if you are in that space where it is all overwhelming. And, the first week you cleared your workspace. That's huge. Like maintaining that space being cleared is, big progress for a lot of, highly creative people who've been collecting. As far as prioritizing, so when I teach people to declutter their whole house, I focus on, I teach the visibility rule, meaning start with the thing that people see when they enter your front door. That is about function, okay? Meaning you are going to see the progress that you've made and you're going to be able to, if somebody knocks on the front door, you're not going to feel that, oh my goodness, I'm so embarrassed to let them in, right? So that's about the function. Like, what is the function of my home? It's to be able to, live here. And so it gives me a place to start. Not that I don't need to do all of it, but I have to have a place to start and I have to have a way to prioritize. So thinking along those lines in the craft room, what that would mean is like, what is the top space that is out of control and causes me to not be able to function well, to do the thing that I need to be able to do in my craft room? Is it that I can't walk in the door because there's piles by the front door, the door into this space? That would be the place to start, is we're going to make it easy to use this space for its intended purpose. And so if there is something that, let's say there's a pile in front of the drawer that I would open to get some of my really important stuff, let's deal with that pile. The same way you can go back and watch, what we did on the first week where we talked about going through the process. You get the trash out and you deal with the stuff you already know what to do with, the easy stuff. You get the obvious donations and then you go and ask the questions with the goal of these spaces being cleared. And then look at what's the space that I use the most often. Let's say that the floor is clear and the surfaces are clear. What is the category of items that I use all the time? And so therefore it's kind of in disarray and things have been spread or whatever, and really go in and go through the 5-step process in that individual space to get out the things that have no business being there, and then really embrace the reality of that space to make that the most functional. Prioritizing function and resisting that urge to ignore the piles by the door and dive right in to that very, very hard thing that, is that closet or whatever. And it's going to discourage you from keeping on going, because you're going to be like, I worked all day in my craft room and it does not look any better.
Right.
Instead, really making that functional visual progress first is really powerful.
I completely kind of forgot about the floor or your walkways, or I was kind of zoned into different categories. But yeah, that totally makes sense to start where if you can't get in,
Yeah.
that's a good place to start.
Well, and if your floors are fine, what is the stuff that you use the most often? Let's make that
Mhm.
the most functional thing. It feels like I need to go and deal with the stuff that I never use, but if I really start with that
Mhm.
and giving those things priority space and putting those things in the place where I would look for it first, it's going to naturally displace some of those other things. And I'm going to get to that eventually. Of course, that's the goal, but really prioritizing function is really powerful.
Yeah. And so for those of us who've gone through it and maybe cleaned up some areas last year and maybe have like a relapse, right? Where everything is back to crazy and out of control. Do you have tips or encouragement or ideas for what to say to the person who's like, you know what, I didn't want to get here again, and now everything is overwhelming again? Because I have
If
that in that, not in my craft room, but other parts of my house. I'm like, how? My
absolutely.
pantry, right? Like, I'm like, how did this happen again? I said I wasn't gonna let it get out of control. So even if
Yeah.
it's not in your craft room, but like, how or what do you say to folks where it's like, dang it, I thought I had it mastered.
Okay, so a couple of things here. Follow the process again
Mm-hmm.
and make sure you're really following the process so that things are either leaving your house or going to an actual home and being given space in that home. As opposed to maybe last year you stuff shifted, which is what I used to do, which was I would clear out a space and make this space look great, and I would kind of just shove things over here to make
Mm-hmm.
this space look great, and then I would and then things would just kind of drift back, right? But as
Right.
long as you're really following my no mess 5-step process,
Mm-hmm.
things are getting real homes and they're being given spaces there. If you have done that, that doesn't mean it's not going to get back to being messy, because that's my natural default is messy, right? But it feels like I did all this work last year. If you really did give things homes last year, and now things are, it looks like an explosion again. It feels like I'm starting back where I was, but you're not starting back where you were. Instead, go ahead and follow the process. But if things really did have homes last year, now you remove the trash, you deal with the easy stuff, which is stuff that already has an established home, which you established last year. You're putting those things into their homes and you're done at step 2. Because this is what I used to work really hard on a space. Life would happen, it would get out of control, and I thought it took me 10 hours last time, it's going to take me 10 hours again. But when everything there is just the trash and the easy stuff that's out of place and I put things away, what took me 10 hours last time to actually declutter and make those hard decisions, this time is just cleaning up. It's just steps 1 and 2. And now it takes me 30 minutes. But my brain thinks that it's going to take the same amount of time. It thinks it's back to where it was before, and it's not. So that's also the encouragement going forward. Like, if I will really, truly declutter and not just stuff shift, really give things homes, then in the future, it's going to make it so much easier to get things back under control. And then the other thing too there is the 1 in 1 out rule, which, because you're a crafter, you see the beauty in things. People know that you like interesting things and they give them to you. And you end up with new things. Giving that thing a home, where would I look for it first? And therefore letting it displace other things and say, okay, if I'm going to bring something new into my house and everything fits as it is, then for something new to come in, something else has to leave in order to make the space for it. And getting into that mindset of, this is a really cool new thing, I don't really have any room for it. It somehow naturally sorts out and helps your brain identify the thing that, oh, actually, I'm not into this anymore. Or I got a whole set of such and such, and I tried one, I didn't really like it, but for some reason I didn't actually get rid of it right then. But it naturally helps you see that when you realize, oh, the space is this space, and if something new is going to come in, something else has to leave, old has to leave to make room.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah. And I do agree. I think realizing that it's not going to take the 10 hours, I think that's
huge.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And so maybe I know this isn't craft room talk, but with my pantry, maybe I've just been doing this stuff and not really finding homes for everything. And that's why it's such a struggle.
Yeah.
Right. Same with the craft room. Maybe we didn't really find a home for things, or you have new things and you haven't found a home over the year.
Well, and the other thing too is if you did this last year, or if you do it this year and then you're watching this again in the future, redecluttering is so much easier than decluttering. Mm-hmm. Something about, when you go through it and you're thinking, oh, does this deserve space? But I have all these great ideas. Oh no, oh no, oh no. And then you go through it again the next year and you're like, I agonized over this last year. Mm-hmm. And it's been a whole year and it's never even crossed my mind. Yeah. Right. There is something that happens in that redecluttering that just frees your brain to go, oh, okay, yeah, this can go now. The other thing too is knowing that redecluttering is a thing makes me not feel like I have this pressure to make all the perfect decisions the first time. I'm like, you know what? It's life. I'm going to continually be decluttering for the rest of my life. It's just how it goes.
Right. That's kind of why this year it's the refresh. Like you're going back and taking a look, and hopefully it's not as tough as last year. Hopefully. Or if this is your first year, then yeah. All right. So week 3, we're going to pick a stash category and we're going to contain it. That is our goal this week. Take your before and your progress picture, your better picture, post it in the Facebook group, and leave your comments. What do you think you're going to start with this week? And we'll see you next week for week 4.
Sounds great.
All right. Thanks so much.